Hello, you beautiful people. My name is Zach Dowdy. Today we're talking about Olympics and skateboarding. I'm not going to be talking too much about the controversy of it because whether you like it or not, it is here to happen starting tomorrow. So I figured this would be kind of like a fun opportunity to talk about some predictions, who I think is going to win in the women's and men park and street. So I'll leave a link down below to World Skate, which basically has all the rankings and all the data so you can see where people placed previously. Now that's the thing with skateboarding contests, and I think it's kind of a lot different than any traditional sport or game. That's what's funny. It's kind of the Olympic Games summer version or whatever, but skateboarding is not really a game. Eventually the Olympics are going to have to change the games part of it. Anyway, my point and the reason I bring that up is because skateboarding is so unpredictable. It's not like some sports where there's a certain team that's doing really good and you can tell there's camaraderie happening and like that team's just going to win because it's just very clear and obvious. With skateboarding, so many different things can happen. Like say with any sport, but like somebody who rolled their ankle the day before, or just be in a bad mindset when someone else's special meter is up, and that gap can become so big depending on so many different variables. So these predictions are just going to be for fun. We're going to go into the basic of how it is going to be judged, because I think that's really critical to kind of set some foundation. Obviously, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to judge skateboarding. You can't really judge skateboarding. It's pretty subjective. So this is just how the Olympics has set it up. And if you're curious on how to watch the Olympics, it's basically going to be on NBC. If you're here in the USA, that's how you can watch it. I'm sure you can stream it on YouTube. There's going to be plenty of different ways for watching it, but I figured I'd cover that. And the other ways I looked up is through VPN. I'll leave a link down below for some resources on how to watch skateboarding in the Olympics if that is something you're interested in. In Canada, it's on CBC. And then in Australia, it looks like it's on 7+. I don't know what that is, but if you're Australian, you probably know. So let's go a little bit into the schedule before we go into the predictions. Tokyo is 13 hours ahead of Eastern time. All times are Eastern right here on the screen. You can take a screenshot of that if you want to schedule when you want to watch the Olympics of your choice. All right, so how it's going to be judged, this is important. And again, I'll leave a link down below if you're interested more into this, but basically it's use of course and individual obstacles, a variety of performed tricks, quality of execution, flow and consistency, and repetition. And if you think about these things, not all these things are kind of subjective. Like repetition is like, how does that really equivalent to a skill? Like just pushing is repetition. So anyways, just, I don't want to get too granular into this. Let's get into the predictions and who I think is going to win the Olympics, because this will be fun. And make sure you leave your comments down below. Who do you think is going to win? Take it all. The men's, the women's. I love to know all your guys' comments. It's kind of fun. This will be like a little game. If you get it right, I'll send you $25. You gotta be one of the first comments to get it right though, otherwise I'm gonna be broke. I wrote down some of my predictions because I was doing some analysis and I was just thinking about like who's on fire right now, who's not on fire. Thinking about the course also has a lot to do with it, especially the bowl area. Street is, it's a skate park. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So street men, I think, actually, so before I go straight into my predictions, let me go really quick on Instagram because I posted something on my stories to see what your guys' predictions were. And a lot of people said Nyjah and Yodo. Andy Mack said Yodo first, second Nyjah, third Jagger. Damn, that is pretty close to what I have. Peacock Skate, which is a filmer who films a lot of the actual qualifying contests. He said Keegan Palmer podium in park, not sure what place, but podium for sure. Sean Plunak, he said we're all losing. Sadly, Nyjah for street and Pedro Barros for park. A lot of Pedro, Alexis Ablone. So all right, let's go into my predictions. I thought that was gonna be more satisfying. Sorry if it wasn't. All right, street men, I'm going with Nyjah first place. I know it is very predictable, but the thing is, you got to think about Nyjah, and his whole life has been set up for this moment, for the Olympics. He's been training for this since he was like he didn't even know how to walk basically. Like his dad was training him for this in day one, street league, everything else has been built up to get to this place. So yeah, I think obviously it's going to battle out with Yodo for second place, and that's USA and Japan battling out for first and second in men's street. Yodo is on fire too. Like, he's insane, and he has way better style than Nyjah. If they're doing it based on those kind of principles, might be a different one. Now, third is a real tiebreaker, and it's really up in the air. So I have Jagger Eaton of USA and Shane O'Neill of Australia tied up for third. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go Jagger Eaton, and the reason I say it is because, again, he's a kind of a contest skater. He's very consistent. He knows what tricks the judges are looking for, knows how to do a good use of course, and based off that judging criteria, I think he's gonna do all right. Again, a lot of this has to do with how these people are feeling on the day. So let's go to street girls. All right, for first place, street girls, Pamela Rosa from Brazil. She is amazing, insane style. Like I watched the last, Des Moines, Iowa qualifying event, and she was on fire. I can tell, like right now, you could tell when certain people their special meter is up and they're peaking. Not peaking, that's not what I mean, but like you could tell they're in a really good place in their skateboarding skill. So for second, I have Mariah Duran. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She's from the USA, and she's really consistent. I've also seen her on the course that they're having this contest on in the Olympics, and she's been killing it. So yeah, there has been some practice footage out on Instagram, been watching. And in third, I have another toss-up tiebreaker is Leticia and Alexis. Leticia is from Brazil, Alexis is from USA, and yeah, that's a hard one. I think, again, it has to come down with that day, but I think Leticia could definitely pull it together. But if Alexis is so blown, it's like, I put it this way, if they're both skating their very best, I think Alexis could win. But I think Alexis may not be as much of a contest skater as Leticia is. So that's my predictions. For park men's now, this is gonna be really fun to watch. My first place prediction is Oscar Rosenberg, Oski from Sweden. I've seen Oski skating for such a long time. It's really cool to see him now as like a man in the Olympics, just killing it. I remember going out to Malmö, Sweden and seeing him kill that contest, and I was just like blown away from the first time. Just like, this dude skates different, like especially the course. So he's a park skater / street skater / just like skateboarder. He can skate everything, I feel like. So this is going to be to his advantage because he's going to be able to flow around, where a lot of the other bull / transition park skaters are a little more used to certain walls, flat walls, corners, things like that. Now I think Oski is a little more creative than your average park skater. So second place, I have Pedro Barras. He's just a beast. He's an animal. Brazilian as fuck. Like, they're so gnarly. I honestly think Brazilian skaters are the gnarliest of all. And then who do I have for third? Zion Wright or Andy Anderson. I know Andy Anderson probably is going to get some slack just because of like weird skate gatekeeping. I don't know if that's going to happen in the Olympics, but Andy Anderson could take the whole thing, to be honest. I think he potentially has the skill to do that. But I think as far as the judging criteria and everything else, Zion Wright also knows how to spark that flame and get that fire lit. So that's a toss-up for me. Now, to kind of wrap it down to the bull girls, my predictions are Sakura for first, second Sky Brown, and for third, I think it might be Bryce. And I think that's kind of a long shot for third place, but I have seen recently she is on fire. And I could be wrong, who knows, but seeing recent Instagram stories and things like that, like it looks like she's killing the course and everything like that. So those are my predictions. Let me know down below, what are your predictions? Who's gonna win the first ever skateboarding Olympics in both men's, girls, street, and park? I'm really curious. I'm excited to watch it. As much as you may like or not like that skateboarding is the Olympics, it's here. So you might as well embrace it and try to watch it and be a part of it and call it out for what it is, the bad and the good. That's what I'm excited for. So yeah, let me know. I'm excited to see what your guys' predictions are. Maybe we lie, maybe we don't. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this little video. Subscribe if you're not ready. See you guys next one. Mash.